Hey guys, how you doing? Derek here from Simply Home, and I'm back with your March 2025 real estate market update for the Woodward Corridor. Let's get into it. So last month kind of went in a direction I was not expecting, and this month it's kind of all over the place. We've got so many competing forces and market dynamics happening that it's really hard to predict what's going to happen, for the next couple months, let alone the rest of the year. But what I can do is tell you exactly where we're at right now in our local cities. So let's jump into it. And as always, we're going to start with the city of Ferndale. And currently in Ferndale, there are 58 homes on the market compared to 33 that closed in the month of February. And the average sale price for February in Ferndale was $256,592. Now that's down 4.6% from January, although it's up 4.1% from February of 2024. And the homes that sold in Ferndale in February sold for an average of 97.1% of asking price, and they sold in an average of 39 days on the market. Now currently in Ferndale, there's 1.6 months worth of inventory on the market. Moving over to Hazel Park. Currently in Hazel Park, there are 63 homes on the market compared to only 16 that closed in the month of February. The average sale price in February in Hazel Park was $177,584. Now that's a jump of 7.6% versus the month of January, and it's up 0.7% versus February of 2024. And of the homes that did sell in February in Hazel Park, the average home sold for 98.1% of asking price and sold in an average of 49 days on the market. And currently there's 2.5 months worth of inventory on the market in Hazel Park, which is the most we've seen in years. And for those, if you're not familiar with that stat, what that means is if nothing else from today hit the market in the city of Hazel Park, it would take 2.5 months to sell every home that's currently on the market. All right, let's talk Oak Park. Now currently in Oak Park, we've got 33 homes on the market compared to 18 that sold in the month of February. And the average home that sold in February sold for an average price of $230,606. That's up 7.7% from the month of January, and it's up 14.6% from February 2024. Homes in Oak Park are selling for an average of 99.3% of asking price, and they're selling in an average of 36 days on the market. And currently in Oak Park, there is 1.4 months of inventory on the market. All right, let's talk Royal Oak. So currently in Royal Oak, there are 101 homes on the market compared to 56 that sold in the month of February. And the average home that sold in February in Royal Oak sold for $446,041. Now that's up 7.2% from the month of January, and it's up 1.6% from February of 2024. The average home in Royal Oak is selling for 100.2% of asking price and selling for in an average of 40 days on the market. And currently in Royal Oak, we've got 1.1 month worth of inventory. Now over to Berkeley. In Berkeley, currently there are 22 homes on the market compared to 11 that sold in February. And the average home that sold in February in Berkeley sold for $292,856. That is down 17.1% versus the month of January. And although it's up 4.5% from February of 2024, I was trying to think of the last time that I saw an average sale price in Berkeley with a 2 in front of it instead of a 3, and it must have been about a year ago because I know it's been over 300 for the longest time. And homes that are selling in Berkeley are selling for an average of 100.6% of asking price. They're selling in an average of only 15 days on the market, and currently there's only 0.9 months worth of inventory on the market in Berkeley. And finally, last but certainly not least, your favorite and mine, that little city with the big heart, Clawson, Michigan. Let's jump into Clawson. Right now in Clawson, there are 11 homes on the market compared to a massive 9 that sold in the month of February. And in February, the average home in Clawson sold for $295,111. That's down 5.2% from the month of January, and it's down 7% from February of 2024. Now, that being said, the average home, again, that sold in February in Clawson still sold for 100.1% of asking price and sold in an average of only 17 days on the market. Currently in Clawson, there's 0.6 months worth of inventory on the market. So what does this all mean? So most of the cities that we're looking at every month went back up in terms of average sale price versus the month of January, except for a couple. And I think what's happening, especially cities like Berkeley and Clawson, we talk about this quite a bit. Anytime there's such a small sample size, I mean, there's like 9 homes sold, there's a lot of ability there for any outlier properties that sold, whether they're higher than average or lower than average, to kind of skew the results. So I wouldn't read too much into it. I would expect probably a big jump next month. That's usually what happens in the average sale price for smaller towns like Berkeley and Clawson. So we'll just keep an eye on it and see. But in the overall market, like, there's so many weird competing factors happening right now. I'm having a hard time predicting which way the market's going to go this year, because obviously the Fed just met. They decided to keep their prime rates the same. So we're not going to see, at least for this month, the Fed's not going to be dropping rates at all. That being said, the average, 30-year fixed rate conventional mortgage has been dropping down steadily for a couple weeks now. So that's a good sign, but it's not like close to 5%. It's closer to 6.5 than it is to 7, which is where we what we want to see when it's going in that direction. So that's good. Inventory seems to be increasing, but at the same time, it's the overall economy is kind of like in turmoil. So that's always going to impact home sales to an extent. So yeah, like I said, it's hard to tell what's going to happen. I don't think we're going to get to a point where we see inventory get so high that it starts just collapsing prices, because that's really one of the big factors. That's probably the most frequent call, text, email that I've gotten over the past couple weeks is what's going on with the housing market. Is the market going to crash? Things like that. The market's really, our market particularly, is supply and demand driven, and we just don't really have the supply to enable the market to crash. I don't think we're going to see that. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like average sale prices maybe come down a little bit, but I mean, that's certainly not a given, and we're certainly not in that position yet. So, we're just going to kind of take a wait and see approach. I'm definitely going to be making more frequent videos addressing that topic, because so many people are asking me about it. So I just want to make sure that I'm giving as close to real-time information as I possibly can. And as always, like, even if you've never reached out to me before, but you watch these videos, if you want to know, what's going on at any point in time, with the market, please call or text me anytime. That's what I'm here for. Direct line is 586-491-5622. You can email me, Werenka@simplyhome.com. I'm on all the socials, so just reach out. It's never it's never like anything that I have that I have an issue doing. I mean, I certainly don't mind relaying information. It's my job as someone who really pays attention to this stuff to keep the public informed. So if you're the public and you want to be informed, let me know. But I will be back next week with not a market update video, but we're going to be looking at different little aspects of forces that kind of impact the housing market, and how they're impacting the market right now, what the potential is in the future. So hopefully it's going to be relevant information for you. I think it will be. And if there is ever anything I can do for you, just reach out. Thank you so much for watching this, guys. I really appreciate it. I love making these videos for you. And we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.